All right, team, we are live. Good morning, everybody. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia. I'm the founder and CEO of Gar Capital. It is Tuesday, September 4th to September 24, 2024. Glad to be with you this morning and every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here on our YouTube channel. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our future content. Thank you guys for joining me today. Let's get started. Dow futures up 73 points. The Nasdaq's up about 38 points. S&P 500 up about 0.10, and the Russell is up about 0.29%. 10-year Treasury yields now at 3.8%. The dollar index is at 100.75. The VIX is flat at 1590. Crude oil is up 2.5%, 72.12 a barrel. That's the highest price for a barrel of oil in the past 6 weeks. $2.03 for gasoline futures. That's up 2.4%. Gold futures up 0.16%, new all-time highs there. We also hit new all-time highs yesterday on the S&P. Silver futures up 0.47%, 31.24 an ounce. 446 for copper, up 2.79%. So you're noticing that we're getting some commodity boost here. And it was because the Chinese central bank actually cut rates 50 basis points overnight. So that does help commodities since the currency gets weaker. Dollar yen up 43 pips, 144.08. Pound dollar's up 37 pips. Euro dollar is up 28 pips. Bitcoin futures are up 0.32%, 63,560. 26.39 for Ethereum, down 1.33%. And now you're all caught up. Okay, so what do I have on the board here? I have Tesla. And again, the reason I'm showing Tesla is because we had a trade on Tesla. So this is from the watch list this past Sunday. We do the watch list every single weekend to get everyone prepped. Tesla was part of it. And you can see once we broke the alert of 245.24, you can see where the price was on Sunday, 245.24. Here we are now at 254. So we're $10 above our alert or our entry, which is great. That's trading now at 254.16. Went ahead and let everyone know this was up this morning. First thing I checked was to see how Tesla was doing. So we should be able to catch that. Gave everyone the heads up on the server that's a paid member. The trading plan is we take Tesla in the morning, first thing, we let a runner run and let it do its thing. We did Amazon yesterday as well. That was part of the watch list. So all of this is planned. We know what we're looking for. And yes, things are going to get a little easier. I hate to use that word easy, but a little smoother when rates are cut, guys. It's easier to trade. It's easier to invest in an expansionary time or an expansionary scenario where we're getting rate cuts, we're getting cheaper money, asset prices go higher. It's no secret. The last time that we had rate cuts was when, team? Was during the pandemic. And do we all remember how 2020 went? Was wild. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, a pandemic and lockdowns are not easy, but it did make it easier to trade stocks and options. Granted, that was 4 years ago. But again, just keep in mind moving forward, it's not going to be immediate relief in a sense of, oh, this is just going to be easy forever. But as rates go lower, as long as we're in accommodative policy, things are just going to be a little more structured. You're going to start seeing the ease of it. And again, that's just the environment. Obviously, everyone gets better the more they trade or the more they do anything. But again, just giving everyone the heads up. In terms of Amazon, we were looking for a break of 192. We can target 195. This was part of the watch list as well. Take a look at Amazon for those who probably still have it. 193.88. It's about 30 cents off the peak yesterday. We took it yesterday for 37%. I think the runner went as high as 70% at session highs. That was at 2:58 p.m. And then we're still holding Tesla. So got a new streak going. 6. Again, I'm just happy to even share that because it has been a little tough. As we know, the summer wasn't easy. August was not easy, very volatile. But now we're starting to get our footing in. Now things are just getting a little easier for us to do, which is always a good thing. So Tesla this morning, members who have it, we're at 253.88. We have the 260 strike calls for this week. So again, it's because it's for this week. We can take the profits first thing in the morning. Should be a right around, I assume, at least a bag, 100% since it's a Tuesday. So we'll take that. We'll leave a runner. Just want to reiterate that for everybody. And again, if you like this kind of explanation every day where someone has your back looking at it for you and helping you get out, like answering your questions, this is the place to be at Gar Capital. So let's go and take a look at some other setups that I have been keeping my eye on. We'll take a look here at S&P 500 futures. Again, for our futures traders, let's take a look at it. We can go on the 1 hour chart, and again, it's just chop. So again, we're just going to have to wait for the breakout above 5,800. If we wait for that, then we can trade it. And NQ, you could see 1, 2, 3 levels of resistance. So again, for us to go long, we need to break out. We need to clear that. I'm still waiting to see if we get to around 20,000, see if we can retest that support. Then we can buy the dip there. If it breaks a little lower, we're looking right around 19,860, which is the lows from the 19th of September. So to make it easy, yeah, there's not much going on in terms of unless we get a breakout. And right now it's just kind of just hovering. Let's take a look at IWM together. Again, I'm going to keep an eye on 226.77. That's what I need to break. I do not want to get reversed on at those levels. So IWM is still rather neutral for me. I still expect more upside, but at least in a trading sense. DraftKings was one that I was talking about yesterday. Needed the break above 40. We got it, and then it rejected right quick. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to place an alert at 40.81. I'm going to be conservative. If this breaks this upward wedge, then we can do the 42 strike calls. And the reason I say the 42 strike calls is because this is the channel that it was in. But if we take a look again, break it down, the 4-hour chart, let me see if I can get this set up here. I drew this line here. This is a reversal pattern if we break down. So if we break down below 39, DraftKings is a short team. All the way down to 34 for a retest. But again, upward wedge breakdown. Again, unless we break out of it, which is above 40.81, then I'll go for the 42s on DraftKings. Palantir, we closed last week. If anyone who held it did very well, let me see if I can get the update on the option signals. Yeah, the Palantir runner was pushing 50%. Closed it a little early on Friday. Again, just wanted everyone to have some money in their pocket. It was a great week, but you can see just lovely price action. We still have to expand it. We're not at all-time highs yet. And so far, so good, at least for more upside. Use around this trend line here, depending on what time frame you're looking at, right around 37 or so as support moving forward. For those who have the option, we had the 38 calls, and I said to anyone, just kind of keep the stop at 38 so it doesn't get out of the money. It is at 37.95 now, but it still looks good. Obviously, the only issue I had is that it's a little overbought. So I'm still kind of glad that we got out of the trade because things could have flipped just like it has before. So again, we just want to be careful trading options, especially same week options. Those Palantir calls were expiring this in October. Could have waited a little more, but again, I wanted everyone to have money in their pocket. So didn't do a podcast yesterday either. Again, it was very flat, very choppy. We did the weekend recap. We did the preview of the week on Sunday. That was on podcast format as well. Monday, we had our morning notes. So again, don't want to be redundant, kind of repeating the same thing. You guys want information. That's what we're here to do and provide. All right, let's do it. Good morning, Carlos. My wife's birthday is tomorrow. I need to make some money today. Made Amazon, it's painless. Made 76% on Amazon. Thank you so much. Boom. Love it. Love it. Lucky. Tesla's not closed, but awesome. Awesome work. Congratulations, team. Love it. Let's see. Next question here is, can you go over SPY? Yeah. SPY was not on the watch list this week, but QQQ was. So in terms of SPY, I have a support at 564.36. I hate to be that guy, but in order for us to trade SPY, we got to break out. Got to break out of the highs. It's the only way this whole thing works. If not, you're just going to get chopped. So again, it is set up for higher. Can't really say we can't. And if we're doing another Fibonacci extension based on what we have here on the daily, 693.55. Imagine that on SPY. We're at 569. So yeah, I guess if, as high as the imagination can take us, lower rates does help, but you don't have to break those highs for us to do anything on SPY. I'd rather do Qs because if we break Qs, 486.38, we got a gap to fill at 493. So I think Qs are a better spot for us to trade. 486, we can do the 490s or the 493s if it's available, depending with time. All right. We do have a GDP number coming out on Thursday, and I think Powell speaks on Thursday. So we just want to be careful for any kind of news that may give us some risk there. So again, today, really my focus is taking Tesla in the morning and being happy because ain't much going on unless the market proves otherwise. Let's go and take a look at Google levels. So Google, I use GOOG. That's what I always use. So let's take a look at the daily, see if there's any kind of setup. Okay, so we got a nice defined trend line. Just drawing a couple lines. Megaphone formation bouncing. We're above the 200 day. We're above the 50 day. Let's see if we can get above. Oh, well, you got two opportunities here. As you can see on GOOGL, Google. You can wait for the break above 168, and there is a gap to fill here at, may have to wait a little bit for this one, so we can make sure we get it right here at 180. So if you break this level of resistance or this place of rejection right there, you can break above that, then we can target 180 on calls, but it's going to take a little bit to get there. Let's go to GOOG. That's the one I usually trade. So 166.62 gets us back within this range. Now, again, you can see the trend lines are a little different. Still the same stock. It's just Class A and Class B shares. I just use GOOG personally. But if we can get above 166.62, we can target 172. Okay. There is a gap to fill at 181. So a little different, but kind of the same. So I still have an alert there. Hello. Is it time? Is it still time to make calls? Tesla strike 260? No. This is a trade that we did. We're gonna get out of it, and the last thing I want to do is sell it to you, and then you're gonna be bag holding. Absolutely not. That is not why I created this company. Don't worry about Tesla for now. We still have more upside, but can you take the profits? Let's see if it gives us a little bit of a pullback. Maybe it starts retesting this support of 235. The last thing I want is for that to happen and you're holding calls because you're chasing. Don't chase. Just wait. We'll wait for another opportunity for us to do another trade. But Tesla, as of right now, is going to be closed in the morning. We're going to get out of that. We're up $4 pre-market. We're taking that money and we're running. Time to dip by on some China stocks, BABA and NEO. Yes, they are also cutting rates. It is up this morning. I had an alert placed for BABA above 94. It is above it now. Now the question remains, what's next? So you break above this triple top. Take a look at the 4-hour. Oh, that doesn't give me enough. But next level of support is around 97. But just be careful. The only reason I say be careful is that you might get this boost first thing in the morning and then it could reverse on us. So I wouldn't chase BABA here. I'm going to move my alert to 97. I'm going to scoop it up a little higher. If that 97.09 breaks, that's still a dollar something away. 100 is going to be next. Just keep an eye on the volume. I prefer us to buy time. Let's see. SMCI. Okay, SMCI, I have an alert above 487.71. There is a slight gap to fill at 510. So we need a little more. But SMCI has some opportunities for us. Another gap to fill at 658. Let's just break out of this downward trend line and see if we can go higher. Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still within this downward channel. And again, I know I said I was bearish down to 50,000, but we got a 50 basis point cut. So thank you, Fed. And the question remains, can we get above 66,000? If we do, then yes, we got to break out of this downward channel, very similar to one other guy. Does this look familiar to you? Takes a little bit. You got a false breakout, pullback, and now we're getting continuation. That's a really good sign. Bitcoin looking pretty similar in that downward channel, but we'll wait for this to break here at 66,405. But I was expecting us to get to 50,000. I was looking for a dip buy opportunity. Oh well, that's why it's just easier to dollar cost average. Good morning, AMD. AMD got an alert above 164.61, and then there's a target of the 174 to 175 strike calls. That'd be a $10 move. Be a little cheaper, but we need to buy some time. This is what concerns me, is that level there. That is the 200-day moving average right at 160.24. Break that first, but we want confirmation at 164.61 before we risk any capital. Upstart. Upstart, I have an alert at 45.70. We are not quite there yet. Again, to me, all stocks are guilty until proven innocent. They better prove to me that this is going to be a breakout and not reverse us. I don't want stress for any of our members. So we're going to make sure we stick to our levels and make sure they break, but nothing yet on Upstart. And you're welcome. Josh, Baba, we went over. I'll go over it one more time because I know everyone loving some Baba. 97.09. Let's break that first. I had an alert at 95 or so, but with that break of 97, we should be able to get some juice to 100. Okay, so 100 strike calls would be next. If we break above that, well, then we got 107 gap fill, and then we got a 116 gap fill. But good on the Chinese to get us a rate, to get themselves a rate cut like the U.S. to boost asset prices. Gotta love it. Does Baba look good long term? Not as of yet. Not as of yet. I mean, listen, it's been one day. We still got a lot to go. And again, it's nice to see, but Baba used to be a $319 stock, and look where we are. So before we start celebrating, you don't have to be the first one. Remember that. You don't have to be the first one to buy a dip. Let's wait for confirmation. Sure, it's going to cost a couple of bucks, but at least you know. And that's the best thing we want to do is just to know. We want good probabilities for exactly what we want. So I would wait on Baba. Let's not get too excited. TGT target. Breaking out of this downward channel, I still want 182 to break. I know. In terms of playing it here, break above the recent highs, 167.57. Again, downward channel, breakout, false breakout, very similar to Target. I mean, very similar to Tesla, excuse me, where we had that downward channel. Yeah, we could do the same thing here. Downward channel, breakout, and then pull back. Again, I'm going to show you guys one more time on Tesla. Downward channel, false breakout, pullback, bounce. Downward channel, false breakout, pullback, bounce. Let's confirm 167.57. Then we can go to the 170s, 175 calls, maybe even the 180s, really dependent on volume. Volume is key. We want to buy stuff that we can get rid of immediately. I don't want to invest in any option. It's not an investment. It is trading pieces of paper every day, and we want something that is available to buy, obviously, with good spreads and demand. If I want to sell sneakers, I'm going to get the best Jordans, the off-whites, the best stuff to sell because that's going to flip. You don't want the bricks that they sell at the outlet. That ain't going to happen. So again, we want stuff that has high demand, things that are going to flip. That's tech. That's the indices. Some high betas depending on news. But if you focus on the Mag 7, the Googles, the Teslas, the Amazons, the Apples, I mean, you can just basically trade those forever and usually, more times than not, have great volume. Yes, there is some here and there that have some great volume daily. Again, BABA sometimes, Palantir sometimes. Some stocks are just popular to trade. Good. We take advantage of it and we just ride the wave. Pretty much it. And Caterpillar. Let's take a look at Caterpillar breakout of this downward flag, or this flag actually, bull flag. Now we got to wait for 382.07 to break. That's the all-time highs. I'll keep an eye and see if there's any volume because we could possibly do the 380s. We're only about $9 away, but you could see it's up pre-market to 382. So it is breaking out. I just saw the daily. That's why. Yeah, it's breaking out above. Yeah, you're going to have to wait on this one because this may reject. And how do I know that? Because there was one other stock that did the exact same stupid thing. That was Apple. Downward channel, flag. We could do the flag as well if you want to do a flag. Here's your flagpole, downward flag, bull flag. But right at the peak, this is where we closed, if you guys remember, on Apple on Friday, and we got that rejection and pullback. And those calls got smoked. So I'm very glad that we got out. But it's bouncing back. Let's see if it breaks above, and then we can possibly trade it above 233. Again, it's just an example. Caterpillar, this might reject. You could see it. This might. Breaks out, so be it. But it is all-time highs. What do we do now? Unless there's some volume, we'll see what we get. But I'm not going to keep my eye on it too long. Let's see. Do I see any Instagram questions? What's today's target for Tesla? Are we exiting at the open? Yes, exit at the open. Do not wait for any confirmation. Just right at the open, you take your money and you enjoy. You can wait a minute or two. It's fine. I know spreads to tighten, but for the most part, you're going to be okay. You're going to make some money. Yeah, it's a $4 gap up. I think we'll be okay. Let's see if there's any other questions on the Instagram page. KBH tonight. This is KB Homes. Now, again, predicting earnings is a very tough game. But again, we're still at the higher end of this channel. Uh-oh. Could we be setting up for a rejection? Maybe. We're right near overbought. So now we got a possibility of this rejecting down to here. So we could get a breakout or a pullback. Well, that's nice, right? Red or black. But I would stay away from KB Homes for earnings. Now, the prospects down the line will be better off because interest rates are down, meaning there's going to be more opportunities for people to buy homes. So, yes, the home builders. We traded the home builders back in the pandemic. DR Horton, KB Homes looks great. But as of right now, not much to do here since you have earnings, but it's a beautiful upward channel. The question is, does it break out or do we stay back in and reject and stay within that 72 to around 90 level? That's going to be something that we're just going to have to wait and watch. All right. Looks like we're all good, guys. Thank you so much for the questions. Thank you guys for watching. I will catch you guys on the live market blog. I am on this channel every day, the Market Watch channel, giving everyone the updates, the trading plans, and anything new that's changed. If you are interested in joining, take a look at the bottom scroll of your screen, www.guard.capital. Appreciate you guys as always. Make sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for all the likes. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the questions. Here to help as always. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. Cheers all.